Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Reverse BLT here, and we're working our way through the first season of The Expanse. It's
Yes,
me
we are.
and my mom, Mother of Bacon over here, and we are now getting ready to start episode 3 of season 1. Remember the Cant. It's a big one. A lot of big stuff is happening here. From that title, what do you think this episode's about?
Well, we already know that, and you know I keep saying it over and over. He should have never answered that distress call.
You're repeating yourself. You know that? You're repeating yourself.
You're repeating yourself. You're repeating yourself.
Dude.
You know, no.
Yes, I think we definitely can say we know that by now.
Oh, but he should have never sent that message.
James Holden should never answer a distress call, and I don't know.
And never sent the message he just sent.
But what do you think?
That's
What do you think the
never.
title's referencing? Remember the Cant.
Frankly, I don't care about the title.
Okay. Any speculation about what's going to happen this episode?
I know they're getting ready to meet the Martians.
Howdy, friends! Welcome to Mars!
They're getting ready to meet the Mars people.
They have been taken on board the Donnager. Well, they were standing at the edge of the breaching hole where the Martian Marines pointing guns at them. So I guess we can just.
I was hoping they would drop the saucer, but the spaceship that they were on, but that didn't happen. I would have got a big kick out of that with John in it.
I still keep trying to understand what you mean by drop them. They're in space.
Still, I wanted. It's like anything else. When you
let go
cramp
of something in space, and its inertia keeps going.
That's science.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, anything can happen on TV.
No, not in this show.
So I would have loved to have seen them just grab onto it and then drop it.
You're strange.
I am.
Okay, so with my mom's strangeness as our springboard, we're gonna go ahead and start episode 3. Remember the Cant, and there probably will be a moment with a commercial from Amazon or whatever about this before it actually rolls in. So you might hear some weird audio, but yeah, who knows? That's not live TV, but it may as well be, right? With all the weirdness that happens in it. Anyway, episode 3. Let's go. Oh hey, Amazon gives you the option to skip the recap.
That distress call.
Well, let's skip.
Nah, you want to skip the recap?
No, that's okay. We need to be reminded about John.
Who's John?
Or whatever his name.
Jim.
Okay.
Pay attention.
James Holden. Not John.
James Holden. I need to keep. Well, you know.
Oh, if you're talking to them, look at the camera, not at the screen. Because if you look at the screen, you're going to look like you're doing this, like you're looking at.
Well, I'm also sewing. I'm a multitasker.
Okay. My mom likes to believe in the nonsense that it's multitasking, which doesn't actually exist. All it is people switching back and forth between doing different things, and they tend to lose performance capability on each thing they're trying to do. So,
you see me looking at him crazy.
Don't multitask if you want quality out of the stuff you're doing, folks.
I'm still looking at him crazy.
Oh, what do you think about Australia's outfit so far? She gets like so many awesome outfits.
See? Shouldn't have made that call. Shouldn't have made that call, James, John, or whatever your name.
James. Look, it's even on a screen. James Holden. Do you remember what the OPA agitator was saying in the first episode?
And now look, now there's mass hysteria.
Do you remember that?
You know what's going to happen?
Do you remember what the OPA agitator was preaching about in the streets? Said eventually Mars is going to wrest control of Ceres away from Earth, and then Earth will go to war to take it back.
Well, thanks to James.
No, but my point is, though, his message feeds into that belief. They already believed that Mars believed that Mars was going to do that.
Well, the oldest profession still exists in space.
Oh, why wouldn't it? However,
Stay calm.
and everything will be okay.
No, not like this.
Oh, gee.
Stay calm. Inte korting konjakut. Topotryke.
Stay calm.
Hands big. And when you talk in and before is we.
Oh, he's learning how to speak.
Okay.
Mhm.
Stay
Here
calm.
you were thinking he was going to the
Mr.
hooker to
Corti.
get.
I sure did. Like everybody else who was watching this.
Inte korting konjakut.
Going your good.
Topotryke.
Talk your
Stay
tree
calm.
kid.
Inte korting gonyego to pochuyeke.
Every time.
Oh, wait a minute, sound like better. Did
If
you
you
say
listen real
English?
close, you can kind of understand what he's saying. I mean, what they're saying, you know? He's basically saying if you
I'm
stay
sorry.
calm, everything's going to be okay.
Hey, why don't you stay off the streets today, okay? It could get dangerous out there.
Maybe you too. But
Earth person. Eartha. Did you hear that? Sound like she said Eartha.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I like the most about this this series and even the books. You know, it's like how well they develop the
I think she likes
divergence,
him.
the divergence of the different cultures.
No, I don't know.
everybody's
She might be a
anxious about the
spy.
extended water rations.
She looked like a
Losing
spy.
the Canterbury
Everybody
is
looks
just going
like a
to make
spy.
that worse.
They do.
Radicals are going to try to exploit the situation. You can't blame them. Mars practically.
Now I
declared
know who
war.
this lady is, but
Yeah,
if
she's
somebody
in
can
this
tell
stuff,
me
but,
Is the
what
safe
else she's
and
played
peaceful
in, I would
operation
really
of this
appreciate
station
it.
Star Helix. These are your sector assignments.
Yeah, everybody pulled out their cell phone.
You busted me.
they're not cell phones. It's weird. They call them hand terminals.
They look
And at
like
first-
cell phones to me.
Yeah, they do, but they're like super souped up cell phones. They like do a whole bunch more stuff than ours can do. And also what they can do changes based on where they are. So they're tapped into this current network. But if you were to go to a different place, the phone would change basically.
All of us need one of those, but
Yeah.
as long as we're not using it while driving.
Juliet Mao.
That's not important right now.
No, it's important now. The Scopuli is the ship that holding guy got scooped up trying to save.
See?
Well, Julie Mao was on it.
Just file the report. Close the case. Enjoy your tax-free bonus.
He can't. He's like me. He can't.
Donnager. Look at that beauty. Their ship.
Compared to that.
The night. Their ship literally sits inside of like a little docking bay of their ship.
Well, I mean, it's set inside the other one that got blown up.
There's the captain of the Donnager.
Yeah? Set inside the other one that got blown up.
See them reading their ID chips.
Look, there's our future, everybody. They're gonna put tags on us.
There's a conspiracy. A C-O-N conspiracy.
Did you notice how it made a weird noise when he got down?
Why?
If we're prisoners, we have the right to legal counsel.
Uh-oh. Got you manhandler.
Put him down.
Handling people. Manhandling people.
Amos.
That sounded dirty.
Uh-oh, Amos gonna come back man. All because of you, James.
Easy, fellas.
He's coming with us.
Uh-oh.
What? Alex. Alex.
Are you a Martian?
Where are you taking him?
You're a Martian. He been sent there to spy on you guys. You're a Martian. You saw it, so you know. See, he's waiting to get my response, but see, he knows.
The Secretary
Aaron, right?
General
What are you
has
doing
to
with
make
your
a
hand
strong
terminal?
response.
You literally were just
Like
doing
what?
this, and
Let
nothing
him
was
deploy the
changing.
fleet.
We don't even know that the Martians are behind this. We have the word of some ice hauler named James Holden.
You're a Martian, too.
Secretary General wants a plan of action, Admiral.
And it can't be. Let's just sit and wait.
Unless we have proof, that's exactly what we should be doing.
I agree.
Fleet Command will not support redeployment unless we have proof. I
Uh-oh,
seriously doubt
they
the
gonna give you
Secretary
proof?
General will want it over.
The Admiral's right. Until we know more, we sit tight and wait. Unfortunately, my embassy needs me back on Mars sooner than I'd hoped.
They not letting you go nowhere. You're gonna become a prisoner of war. Uh-oh.
50 bucks says I can beat you to the end of the concourse.
Bubbles.
Frank.
Hey, Bubbles.
So for the moment, you're completely useless, and therefore have no excuse not to come to my house this afternoon.
Oh, she planning on killing you.
In 40 years, you've never taken a no from me. So why should today be any different?
If it makes you feel better, you're the best at rolling over. See you later.
Look at her face.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't need to look at her face. I listened to what she was saying. Oh, there you go. Why spell sound like he's some German?
You see the Mormon trying to talk to him?
Oh, dang, we got Mormons in space.
But we have a comedy night at the Laugh Shack once a week, and I'd love to prove you wrong. I can't do it tonight.
Where's his partner, though? That's the thing. I doubt even in the future that Mormons will break that rule. They're always going twos.
All right, Captain Shadid. That's great.
He gave you the wrong name.
He gave him the captain's name.
Captain. Come on, let's go.
I love all the talking with their hands the Belters do. So, do you know why they talk with their hands so much?
They're Italian.
Because they got a different language.
But do you know why they talk with their hands so much in their
Shut down the cases.
Why is so much of their communication non-verbal?
So it can't be
Let's see, can't be any of the dead scumbags or
Seem like you have different meanings.
Nobody gives a shit about them.
It's because the Belters work in space.
The cute girl kidnapped side job.
If you and I are in
To me, it sounded
space
more like a time suck for some rich dirt.
across the room from one another in space, how are we going to talk?
You love it when they drop off the pole.
That makes sense.
So we talk with our hands.
I like it to be mine.
Now he will say that I won't remember that
For now.
the next time he asks me that question.
Sure, no
Just give
problem.
me your hands up.
So she just gave him a hot tip on the Julie Mao thing.
They're going to try to frame us.
Yes, they are.
Think about it. All we need is one false confession.
I wonder who'll crack first.
Shut up. You're listening.
I'm looking at him too. You know, already done enough stuff. Look, took you first. You the one that gave that mess. Don't worry, people. I am not gone. I'll be right back. Why? You ain't have to turn it off. I'll be back in a second.
Really don't understand how these videos work, do you? You can't just like wander off.
Why?
So did you pay attention to the pill and all that stuff?
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. A new updated lie detector.
5 fathers, 3 mothers. They were all my true parents. Full genetic mix.
Wow.
And which female did you gestate? My mother Elise had the widest hips. So why would you destroy the Canterbury? What? What are you talking about? What did you do with Alex? 8 years ago, aboard UNN Cheng Fei, you assaulted a superior officer. Not technically. He ducked my punch. I broke my hand on the bulkhead.
You were dishonorably discharged.
He ordered me to fire on the Belter ship.
He was a smuggler?
Who was smuggling people.
You had no way of knowing that at the time.
But I was right. How long have you known Naomi Nagata as an OPA operative? What? 2 advanced degrees in fusion drive design. You never wondered why someone of such obvious intelligence was wasting her life sealing cracks and fixing gauges.
Oh my goodness. He lying to you.
Based on the desperate condition of your shuttle. It clearly required extraordinary improvisational expertise.
He's lying to you.
To survive, let alone restore your antenna array. These are the hallmark skill sets of terrorists. Did Naomi Nagata effectuate those repairs? Naomi is not OPA. I don't believe you. You do now.
Wow.
Pretty neat, huh? So you understood what the pill did then. That's pretty cool. A lot of people don't get the pill thing.
Oh, they don't?
But I figured I got it right away too. But I figured it's because we were big Dune fans and we had the Mentats.
Yeah.
That's essentially what he was doing. He was like using drugs to.
We got reports of some dangerous contraband type shit in here. Okay.
It's a total shakedown. He doesn't even know what he's looking for.
I would be trapped in this.
I'm not looking for a fashion debate, Copain.
Got no coping here, Carl.
I'm not your buddy, friend. He's not your friend, guy. I'm not your guy, buddy. He's not your buddy, friend.
I'm looking for Anderson Dodds. Think he might be my friend? Kind of runs things around here. You might know about that.
I don't suss at that.
I don't suss at that opiate tat on your forearm there. Is that just part of your plumage? Why don't you look around? See what you can find. For me?
We're going to give the vineyard next door.
Yeah, eyes and ears everywhere.
And he's been there a long time.
Gray water into
I think he actually,
wine into gray
Detective Miller
water.
was born.
We're going to retire to Mars in the Mariner Valley Circle of Life.
It's funny watching the two politicians and how they behave differently than their respective husbands.
He's having a problem with the fact that they.
A little preoccupied.
He knows that Christian didn't invite him here just to talk about wine and have fun.
Oh, definitely.
I've put new points on the dots.
Just like both of them understand that this what this is about too, so they're gonna go hang out. Though I actually have a feeling that the Martian ambassador's guy, or the ambassador to Mars's husband, is a little less savvy than her husband is. So that's what he was waiting on for her to basically tell him what was going on, like or why he's there.
We have proof.
The Martians wouldn't do that.
I think you love them too much.
But don't drink anything else after she said that.
Hey,
I wouldn't.
You know, I dated a Martian once. Smart, and I love how industrious Martians are.
You notice that the guard essentially ignores him, but noticed.
I mean, all that fancy gear, and the one thing they're allowed for is scratching your junk. Yeah, I get junk itch too sometimes. What I recommend to my patients is Uvasol. It's an antifungal cream, and the best thing about it is if you put it under your tongue, it helps to relax. He doesn't need ball cream, shit, because he's got no balls.
Ooh, sick burn.
The Martian Navy took that away from him when he joined up. Those
Oh, really?
are anatomically correct.
You want me to put you down again?
Come on in.
Uh-oh. I noticed he got on a different.
You heard me say it. You look very well treated.
He's with the Mars. He's with the Mars Navy still.
That beacon we found that you found so easy, what if it was meant to be found? Like by whom?
By your own people.
Who stands to gain if Earth and Mars get into a throwdown? How well do any of us really know Naomi?
Hey, everybody blaming Naomi.
Mars killed the cat!
Give the Martians the water and all the animals.
Now in the book, that was a woman, and that woman was beaten to death.
You want to book?
So a little bit of difference for the show.
Oh, so they ain't beat the man to death.
No, like I said, in the book, they were beating a woman.
So they ain't beat
Martian captain, and they beat her to death.
They ain't beat the man to death though.
No, they changed it for certain story reasons. I understand why. They wanted to, but you'll understand. It was just something that I found interesting. A little change from the book.
She any relation to Julie Mao?
Uh-oh.
How much are they paying you to find her?
Uh-oh.
I'm not judging. An Earth Corp may pay your salary, but you were born here. I think that under that ridiculous hat, there's a belter yearning to find his way home.
You took a young, naive, rich girl, daddy issues, got inside her head.
Stop. Now I'm getting choked up. Other than the money, what do you care? You didn't know her.
No, you did.
I'll ask around for you. See if anybody know anything. And thank you
for preventing bloodshed earlier. Ceres will need men like you in the days to come.
Will they now?
So do you think Naomi's OPA?
No, I don't.
Do you think I'm OPA? What, we all know each other and we're all terrorists, right?
Why do you think he keeps asking about Phoebe?
I don't know.
You've heard of Phoebe, right? It's like Ceres is another big asteroid out there.
Are you sure about that?
Hands where I can see them, please.
You see her flip him off real quick.
He can't read it.
No, he's reading her. He's asking questions specifically to
the pilot.
To see. That's why they keep focusing on her face real tight, because those are expressions he's reading, little micro expressions.
No, one of us. Was it you? Was it you? Hands where I can see them. It was Holden.
What the hell is this? You join up?
Wait, what? That's an option?
Fun.
Everything. They told me
Naomi's OPA. They'll say anything to get in our heads. They told me that you faked your medical records and signed on to the Cant to get away from a drug dealer who wanted you dead.
Well, that's true.
So he's not a doctor?
You okay?
No. He is technically a medic, and I mean, a person who pays attention can learn a lot.
Unbelievable.
Watch you now.
And you. No one knows anything about you, except you do whatever she says. Sleeper agents. You ever heard of them?
Human shield. You ever heard of those?
Here we go again.
I'm ready to talk.
Here you go again. Every time he talks, it doesn't go well.
I am Don Quixote, the man of La Mancha.
Captain will speak to you now.
You get the feeling that that's what they were waiting for.
Somebody's trying to make a war.
They were taking inventory. The spike in chatter was panic. They were calling to see if anything was missing. They didn't destroy the Canterbury.
Then who did?
You guys did.
Someone was trying to start a war.
Plot thickens, eh?
Somebody's trying to start a war. But that's what happens when you take your human beings and
Mr.
put them in
Holden,
space.
your face is on every screen and
And
channel
the
on
little
the
tiny
system.
captain of the
Saying, in
Donnager.
effect, the kind of lie that can lead to war. You will
Tell him
publicly
again.
recant your state. You will put out the fire you started by telling everyone, everywhere, that Mars is innocent. That the Canterbury was destroyed through the actions of Naomi Nagata, an operative of an OPA sleeper cell.
Is she?
That's the drive plume of a ship decelerating hard toward us. We suspect it was sent for Naomi Nagata. What do you think now?
I think you got it all wrong. What I think.
After the transponder shut off,
No, that could be right though.
ship show up on any flight control satellites.
Come to think about it. Look, what you call it is a Martian. So I mean,
possible destiny.
Remember the guy that he was talking about to put hands on her? She messed him up.
Hold it right there.
I need another snack. Going in here to heat up something. No snack.
Nom 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 nom. Oh, nom 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 nom.
Sorry, I got hungry.
No, it's fine. You get hungry, you get hungry. There's one group of people I follow, the normies. They get hungry. So they're sitting there eating on the actual reaction videos, but it's always funny because they get mad at one of them. Who was it? I think Nahid. Nahid would sit there with freaking chips and candy and stuff that has like crinkly wrapping. You can just hear it on the camera. He's trying to open, you just hear and they're all sitting there staring at him, and he's like They're very popular these days. You know, I mean, they have like they were probably instrumental in getting this show renewed when Sci-Fi Channel canceled it, because they were big on the whole renew the Expanse thing, and Amazon picked it up, and like the actual cast called them out. You know, they were like, yeah, you know, the normies and all this stuff. And they were like, oh my God, they know who we are, and blah blah blah. So yeah, I mean,
Well,
their stars
they
rising.
They have people that go through fan stuff and everything.
Yeah. Anyway, back to it.
Yeah.
Hey, Miller, you need to get your ass back up to Medina now. We got problems.
It seemed like Miller might be getting a little obsessed with this case.
He got serious problems.
He's putting a lot of effort into this Julie Mao thing.
It's one of those cases where it's more than what it appears. And it's a mystery for him.
Come on, Jason.
It's like pulling a loose yarn on a sweater.
Want to take it? Go.
So he's going off on his own to take some other thing. Oh, he wants to go check on I think he wants to go check on the prostitute.
Return to your homes! You heard her! Get the hell out of here! Go home!
Uh-oh.
So you see what he is. He's a recruiter for Martian businesses. Remember what it said at the very beginning? That little opening crawl? Remember at the end? All it will take is a single spark.
That's it. But any war, any demonstration, any violence, anything.
Once the tensions get high enough.
They took all the problems to space.
Meanwhile, back on Earth. That's a cool school.
Conspiring again, huh?
Bringing him some wine.
At least you had the respect to stab me in the chest. My diplomatic credentials have been revoked.
She knew they were.
Banned from Mars for life. Do you remember? We were very young. A couple of us played cards at your house.
I remember I didn't like to be excluded.
Finally, one night, you demanded to play. You were, I don't know, however old that is. We let you in. When the deal came to you, you called your game. Tennessee, three-finger hold'em.
That's not a thing!
And you pointed to the far end of the yard and you said, now.
Whoever gets to the tree first wins.
You dropped your cards and were halfway there before anyone else realized what was happening. Never seen your father more proud. I was terrified for you. I didn't know why. And now I do. You will do anything to win. Just like your father. I won't play with you ever again.
She just lost one of her oldest friends. The price is high.
Wow. Unfortunately, people look for different reasons to, well, probably any reason.
Pretty sure this person's dead.
To hurt someone who's different from them. See, we took out nonsense in space. Oh, that was the guy.
Isn't that interesting? That he was one of the casualties.
Calm down around here. I'm just gonna stick around for a while and make sure it stays that way.
Understood, Papa.
Uh-oh. You're gonna die. Unfortunately, you're gonna die.
Ти кол тингун you get with Julie. Come on, guys, it's over. Just go home.
Below the beehole.
You getting ready to die. Yep.
Remember the Cant.
It's not over, so that's the Cant.
The Cant was Canterbury. The ship that was blown up.
It's just beginning. Wow. Wow.
So, what do you think of that episode, huh? Other than wow.
That's all I can say. Wow.
All you can say is wow.
I am shooketh.
And I liked him.
Well, have a lot. Yeah, he was a decent guy.
Yes, he was. And now he's dead.
He just wanted to do right. He actually cared
wanted
about
to
the
learn.
soldiers. He also cared about the people that were on the station, which, you know, is ironic because they think that nobody from the inner planets cares about them at all, but he was from the inner planets and he cared about them. Cared about them more than
any of the other people.
Yeah, more than Miller did. And he was born and raised there his whole life. You know?
It's a shame. He looked like if he had lasted long enough, he would have probably tried to do some good.
But what Miller was was telling him is that he believes basically had he lasted longer, eventually he would have just become him. Bitter, jaded.
That's a possibility too.
Because, you know, Miller wasn't always like that.
No, that's a possibility too. You know, you can see so much, you know, bad stuff happen, I guess, in any settlement, till you get a little all of a sudden, you know, you don't see the good in people anymore.
Yeah.
But there's really some good. But dang, he died, and the way he died, I think that's the part that hits me the
Pile
most.
driver through the chest.
Right, the way he died is just.
I guess that's not a pile, is it? Pile's much bigger than that. What do they call those things? Anchor bolt. Anchor bolt through the chest.
Well, I mean, they had him high enough that his feet were not touching the ground.
Yeah.
So,
He was punched through.
regardless of what, he's not moving. You know, and he's going to take his last breath up there.
Here's your ninepence. I'm not dead.
Yeah. He says he's not dead.
Yes, he is. I'm not.
So that's a shame.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that were shames in this. Well, maybe not a lot of things, but like because we also had a Avasarala having to play her friend like that and then losing him.
He was a true friend.
Yeah.
Because if he was not, after that conversation, she would have been dead.
Well, he's in it. Ambassadors aren't typically those types of people. You know what I mean?
No, but they know the people who can have those
true,
done.
but
So
considering that he's an Earth guy,
she basically stabbed him in the back.
well, as he said, stabbed him in the front. Because it's not like he was stupid enough not to understand what the possible ramifications would be if he did take the action he took. It was a situation where he couldn't not take it. And that's why she went to him in the first place, because she understood that it was like, if she gave him that information, he would have to act on it.
She set him up.
Yeah. But the thing is, he understood that he had been set up. That's why he said, at least you had the decency to stab me in the front.
Well, what kind of friend is that?
Yeah, but you gotta think.
So I guess there's really no friendship in politics, or
well, you have to think
of
of
this station, or
you have to think of the stakes,
or anything else.
You know, it's like that old story they tell about Winston Churchill, and how even though I'm not entirely sure this was true,
it never happened.
I think there's disputed, but they talk about how you remember how the Allies broke the code, the German Enigma code, right? And so they intercepted communications from the Germans that indicated that they were going to bomb the city of Coventry. Okay, and so Churchill supposedly had a choice with that information. He could either evacuate Coventry and thus reveal to the Germans that their code had been broken, or let Coventry be destroyed so that the Germans wouldn't know. And he chose to let Coventry be destroyed. And thousands of people were killed in the bombing of Coventry. But it preserved the secret that the Allies had broken the code, and in theory, many, many more thousands of people than died were saved because they were able to shorten the war with the knowledge they had. Now again, like I said, it's disputed whether or not just like how true that story is, but I think it's the same kind of thing. She was in a situation where she needed to know, because what they were going to do from that point on depended on what they knew about whether Mars was actually involved in this. Because if Mars was actually involved in this, like she said, they were going to have to redeploy the fleet and change the deployment of the fleet. And if they changed the deployment of the fleet, Mars would have to respond by changing their fleet deployment.
I'm sorry,
And
but she
eventually
already.
a war would happen. You know what I mean? It would bring them much closer to all-out war with Mars, whereas right now they just have this uneasy relationship.
But she got the answer. They weren't involved.
Right, but the only way she could get it was by she had to provoke a reaction from Mars that would tell her whether or not they knew about it.
Well,
you know what
all I know is she lost a very good friend.
She lost a friend that she's had since she was a child.
And sometimes it's better to have more allies than to have people who don't trust you, don't want to work with you, don't want to.
Yeah. And
she's known him a long time.
Yeah, since she was like
literally
a child, like
a kid,
4 or 5 years old.
So
her entire life she's known this man.
Well,
I mean, he knew her father before her, so literally her entire life.
And unfortunately, the police died at the end.
Yeah. So, what did you think about the stuff that happened on board the Donnager?
Well, that's still unfolding because somebody's a traitor. I mean, we already know that.
Did you like watching how the interrogator planted certain thoughts to get certain information?
Well, all he did was put each person against each other.
Yeah, to see what would shake out.
Yeah, I mean, but now he has Holden.
Yeah, Holden's talking to the captain.
Who's talking to the captain, which...
What do you think about
I'm not getting much sense out of their conversation, but...
What do you think of the bogey?
Which bogey?
You didn't notice that when she was talking about like how she was convinced that Naomi was OPA and that there was a bogey. There was a ship chasing them. And had been chasing them for the past several days.
Well, she says that, but we haven't seen the ship.
We haven't seen the ship yet. They showed the what was on the display was the drive plume. So the
that can be fabricated.
How do you fabricate a drive plume? You know what that is?
One of the Star Treks, the little heat signature behind it.
Star Trek.
No,
No. Here's the thing.
I can go to Star Trek.
No, I'll say this. You can change. No, because remember, this is realistic physics. This isn't magic. So you can use certain things to tweak a drive plume signature so that it might read as a different ship than it is. But if you see a drive plume, a ship is making that. You know what I mean? So they know a ship is chasing them. They don't know anything about it.
I mean,
it
could be a freighter.
And what she said is that it doesn't appear to be one of theirs.
It could be a freighter.
It doesn't appear. Why is it chasing?
It could be. It could be going in the same direction. It doesn't mean it's chasing them.
I'm pretty sure your ship captains can tell whether something just happens to be going
the way
in a
they're
similar
lying,
direction to theirs versus whether
the way they setting things up and lying and things like that.
So you think she's?
I'm not sure what they're saying.
You think she's just making it up to get more information out of Holden then?
They already know what type of person Holden is.
Yeah.
So
they pretty much have a good idea of what type of person
all of them are.
Yeah.
I mean, just from that interrogation.
They have a lot of the information about them, which the interrogator used to shape how he would interrogate.
Right, and I'm sure that he's already, given
he's
his report to the
stuff. Yeah, and he's given his report to the captain.
Captain.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Which is why they were all sitting out there waiting for Holden to say he wanted to talk to the captain because they'd already come to the conclusion that he would.
Of course you.
Yeah.
Stupid self.
All right,
I mean, I'm sure that I am going to get a really big laugh out of him as it goes on because I'm just not sure about him.
Oh, Holden? Yeah, like I said, quixotic hero. He does a lot of interesting things.
I'm just not sure about him.
Well, assuming he lasts much longer.
But
like
I guess we're going to see
when it comes to
what's going to happen.
But okay, so.
But I wouldn't feel too bad if they pluck him off, really.
That's cold.
Just pluck him off. Mom apparently is not a fan of Holden right now.
So far, I am not.
Yes,
and they could do just like they did in Lost, where they all of a sudden they get me to sympathize with everything, everything that's going on with all the characters and stuff. But yet they have not.
Because I think Kate was the one that everybody was just like, God damn it, Kate.
As of this moment, they have not gotten me to feel for him.
I'm sounding like Serge from the Normies. He mentions Lost in like every episode of every reaction they ever do of anything. He's like, oh my gosh,
he should have got my reaction at the end of Lost.
Yeah,
that was priceless.
I think he disagrees with you on the ending.
I don't care.
I think he probably is more on my side of the things when it comes
I don't care. It was a stupid ending.
Yeah, we're getting off topic, so it's probably time to say goodbye. Well, guys, thanks for watching our reaction. Tune in with us next time.
Yes, thank you so much.
The Expanse Season 1, Episode 4?
Yes.
Which is CQB. I can't wait to see your reaction to CQB. That's a great episode. Anyway, bye-bye, guys. See you next time.
Bye.